Hey everybody, good to be with you here this afternoon. We've got a lot to cover in a short amount of time, so let me try to get some of the data here. A lot of you have questions about football games, of course. First off, today we've had a nice little clearing patch that has developed aloft there. It's not allowed for some sunshine. We're 67 outside. We'll take it. Not bad. A lot of clouds though once you go south. Once you go towards, say, Lebanon Junction, you're back into that cloud canopy. So location. And still some light drizzle here off to the east. We will cloud back up though, it looks like, for later on tonight. Here is the setup though. Joaquin is not responsible for our rain today and really the clouds we're going to see over the weekend. It's a deep trough that has been digging in, and the flow, again, is coming straight around Georgia and South Carolina. It's picking up on that tropical moisture thanks to, in a sense, that Joaquin's feeding on, but a lot of tremendous moisture waiting here off the Atlantic coast. But it's wrapping around. This low pressure is wrapping the clouds and the showers back toward Kentucky. That's the reason why we are kind of stuck in this pattern. So our weather out in here, it doesn't really matter. It won't for a while. We're not worried about you guys. No offense, Wichita and Omaha, but you guys have no influence on us whatsoever for the next several days. So everything is happening here and to the east. This is our main issue of how our weekend and early next week is going to play out. And of course, we're keeping an eye on Joaquin. There's the eye right now located in the central Bahamas. We'll get to that in a second. First off, let's take care of the shower chance for this evening. We'll break up the clouds at times. We've seen that. It's going to be a cool night tonight in the 50s. Some showers and drizzle for Friday morning. We may see waves of this tomorrow, and that may be just enough to keep us into the 50s most of the day. So it does not look as nice tomorrow as it has been for a lot of us. We got lucky today. Don't see us getting as lucky tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow evening, maybe some moderate rain developing. We'll keep an eye on that for the area high school football games. Now, the data keeps changing every model run, so I don't want to put that in stone, but it's something we're watching. And then we get thrown another wave of rainfall early Saturday. And yeah, for midday on Saturday, look at that, midday on Saturday, 52 degrees in Louisville, 49 in Lexington, and there's not a whole lot of warming for the game there for Saturday night at Commonwealth Stadium, sorry. But it does look to be a wet pattern, especially Friday night into Saturday. I think appears to be our highest rain chance ahead for us. And some areas could pick up another inch of rain here in Louisville. This particular model says a half inch, but it will vary. All right, Joaquin, as you haven't heard, if you haven't heard yet, it's Category 4 hurricane. The models today have been trending more to take this out to sea, and then a couple still try to bring it into the northwest, into the Carolinas, but not as many. But still a couple of them, including the Canadian and the NAM, try to eventually bring it back into the area of low pressure here that's stuck in Georgia. It kind of sucks it in, kind of pulls it in like a Dumbo action, and you get a rotating sense of rainfall basically over the eastern seaboard. I'm trying to explain this the simplest way I can. It's a very complicated setup, very unique setup for sure, and that's why the models are just like, what in the world are we doing here? But there is a high pressure here, so that's been the big debate, and we have the remnants of Ida, which is trying to come back to life. So, you know, Joaquin has a limited corridor here. It's got the low pressure here over Georgia. It's got a high to its east. It's got Ida to its southeast, so it's got a narrow path it could take. So if it can escape the low here off the southeast coast, there you go. It's on its way out. It's fine. Freebird. It's out of there. But if it waits too long and feels the effects of that low pressure, the low pressure is going to grab a hold of it and pull it back toward the Carolinas. The model trends today have been trying to, at least the better models, is to allow it to stay just far enough away that it can get away. But again, it's a big debate there, and we'll fine tune it. Here's some of the Euro models, some of the models, start with the European. Saturday morning, here comes that wave of rainfall coming in across Kentucky. For those going to Raleigh, it's showing 61 degrees early in the day. And notice where the heaviest rain band is. Now, this is the low pressure. This is the Dumbo action, if you will, where this is the area of low pressure, and then here's the effects of Joaquin. And this is going to cause the band of rain, which is north and south, to tilt as we head through that Saturday and Sunday. And you'll see that begin to happen. Here we go. Saturday afternoon. The heaviest of rain looks to be just south and southwest of Raleigh by that time. So that may be good for the game for the Cards. And then as we head into Saturday night into Sunday morning, we'll continue to see that trend of rotating the band more horizontal as Joaquin kind of pulls it that way. Again, I call it a Dumbo action, but that's the best way I can explain it. And that trend will continue until eventually Joaquin pulls out of the area. And then we begin to warm up. Here's the GFS model. Again, early in the day it looks like for the heaviest of rain in Raleigh. And then by the afternoon in Raleigh, we start to see things improve. In Kentucky, still kind of showery it looks like. And then we start to see Joaquin. Here's Joaquin out here. GFS, very similar to Euro, taking it to where it doesn't really get pulled in by the low. It's able to pull by. The low sees it, but but it creates that Dumbo action of the band of rain and in north-south now, tilts it east-west. Where's that tilt going to be, and who's going to be in the middle of that tilt? Because whoever's in the middle of that tilt is going to have the rain the entire time, and that could be South Carolina the way it's looking. But anyway, Monday begins to pull away, then the rain eases off. Here's another model, short-range model. This is the NAM model for Friday night. Passing showers through Kentucky and Raleigh, soaked. So if you're flying out early, driving early to get to the game in Raleigh, you're going to drive in through quite a bit of heavy rain potentially in Raleigh Friday night. Saturday morning, maybe still some heavy rain in the morning hours, but that tilt will begin to take place by midday on Saturday and become again more east-west by Saturday afternoon into Sunday. But it is hinting that Joaquin may get pulled in at some fashion here on Sunday or Monday, but it's still kind of a big F. And here's the RPM model. This one has a north-south band, but it's a little slower in the tilting process. So in Raleigh, it keeps the heavy rain very close to Raleigh. Now, it does agree that Joaquin is going to be able to escape and get away, but it is going to begin that tilt. This model can't see very far out, but by Sunday morning begins that tilt into South Carolina. So I mentioned who's going to be in the middle of that tilting of that rain band. Well, it looks to be portions of North and South Carolina. Raleigh looks to be able to escape it as of today, but the models are changing on a daily basis. I've got to urge caution for you guys to keep checking back with this for more on that. Okay, I'll get back to that stuff later. But anyway, there's another storm next week I wanted to talk about, but I don't have enough time to get into it because this system for the weekend and early next week has got enough to worry about. But I will at least hint to you that next week I do see a significant warming trend, perhaps some 80s, and perhaps our first round of fall weather, severe weather potentially developing down the road here. But this weekend, it's all going to be about the upper level low, feeling the effects of Joaquin, that moisture being brought in from the southeast, but that tilting process will be in our favor Sunday. I think that'll allow us to dry out some on Sunday because that tilting bar will begin to aim more toward the Carolinas and Tennessee and be able to pass Kentucky. I hope that all makes sense. I'm trying to be as visual as I can here. But that's how it's looking today, guys. We'll have much more, of course, today on